All right, hey there. Welcome to my third match Renaissance mix here against jakkdl. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but that's what I'm gonna go with. We have another recruiter inventor board, which we've seen, as well as lackeys. I mean, I think you just I guess you could try to skip peasant here. It's probably fast enough. Not that you'd be super mad about getting a disciple or whatever. You're not going to really have time for probably not going to really have time for teacher. I would be shocked. As for the rest, I guess I'm not sure. I think I will go inventor lackeys. I mean, the disciple will be nice. Maybe nice enough to get a peasant. Though you risk not hitting, or you make not hitting 5 more likely. So we'll see. I'll have to think about it before I make my buy. But it's not like crazy good. I'll try a skip. We'll try a peasant skip. They hit 5, so that didn't change much. Should be. Bit sad to not find the inventor there, but it's okay. I feel fine. I mean, the disciple is, I'll be a little jealous of the disciple when that comes around. Fortunately, they didn't get the fugitive before the reshuffle, so that, well, this was a pretty bad draw for me still, though. I mean, the bottom deck, this, and then there's even, I think, another lag. Maybe not another lackeys, but. And they're pretty much through the shuffle here, so. I think this is pretty easy lackeys game. I don't think there's much competition there. I wouldn't go for the second inventor until you were like drawing it and playing it myself. I don't think. Which hopefully I can do this turn. Maybe not quite. Dislike the militia, I think, quite a bit. I guess it's not crazy, but How much money did I have when I bought this swashbuckler? Not really that much. I bought a recruiter. I had like 6 or something. That could have been an overlord. I don't know. We are gonna have a villager problem next turn. Sort of makes me want to just buy a gold. Or it could buy a province. I mean, versus gold, province versus gold, province looks better to me. Whether that should have been like a swashbuckler, maybe, instead. I could believe. Or even like a fair or something, I don't know. Disciple Inventor isn't as scary as like Disciple Lackeys would have been. If this is the end of their draw, this isn't that scary. I mean, obviously still very good. I'd be thrilled if they take a teacher, if they move the disciple to teacher. That would be awesome. So we'll see if they do that at the end of this turn. They didn't. So, okay. So that at least, that hope is not in the cards, but this is a little sad. Well, it could be quite sad. We didn't find the... So now we're getting into scary times. A little bit. For sure. I mean, we could actually... Let me think about this. No, wait. Yeah. We'll just do it this way. I mean, there's a thing I can do here. Keep doing this. I don't have any I didn't find a recruiter. I'm just losing. Straight up. I'm lost here. I needed to do that differently. I could have lackeys, of course. I was just counting on seeing one of the recruiters, which of course was not at all safe. I'm pretty much toast. Also, I'm toasting, like if this were like inventors and lackeys or whatever, but the 2 swashbucklers here means I also can't draw through in the next bit. So that's bad. Those were just bad gains by me, frankly. A little bit of unfortunate draw to not see something to hit with recruiter, but I could have also recruited a recruiter. That would have been reasonable. Another issue here is there's not like, I mean, I can empty the provinces to end the game, but it's not there's no points thing. There's never a points thing just because of the triumph. There's I mean, I can pile out potentially, but I mean, this turn I'm just gonna buy a lackeys most likely, assuming there are any left. But it still puts me in pretty big trouble for the next set of turns. And I can play one of the swashbucklers. Getting a treasure chest, not that there was great ways to do it, but it wasn't impossible. It would have actually been quite good here. But I shouldn't have gone to the end of my turn without any villagers. Like, I could have avoided that. And should have. Bear was like definitely a possibility at some point. I'm really kind of surprised at the trash of a inventor and keeping militia. I find that to be pretty odd. But I guess I'll take the thing. Why not? They're gonna have to. They're not gonna dud. They don't have enough really stop cards. Well, they have enough stop cards. Mine wasn't a dud in this. It was just a villager dud because I was stupid. Yeah, I don't know. This one's probably a loss, but. I don't know if they have additional draw still. I guess they must. They still have another overlord. They can get a lot of stuff this turn. They can draw it. Recruiter. They also have a villager problem. So they're probably got a little better flexibility with the overlords than I do. They could even take the lackeys here if they want. to fix that a bit. Lowering provinces is a bit weird because I think I could. No, I wouldn't be able to empty them, but. And I'm just gonna take my take up some coffers. Surely they're just winning on this turn. That seems. It depends on what you have in hand. It seems possibly a little risky. I mean, the coffers wouldn't appear to matter. I wouldn't think peasant is what you gained either. The coffers maybe will matter. I would have expected invent. I mean, if you're not going for a finish, I guess peasant is fine. Though I think you go for a finish, in which case you certainly take an inventor. I would assume there. I don't know. I think there are some lackeys down here in the bottom. Obviously, there was this problem. We don't have the swashbucklers, so that's obviously an issue for whether we draw on the reshuffle. The real problem is just that even if they don't find a way to win this turn, they can score a bunch of points, of course, and I won't have a pile out on my turn. There's no way, I don't think. I just don't think it's in the cards. And that's just even assuming they don't find a way to win it here. Which seems, still seems totally doable to me. Though the peasant didn't help that at all. I don't think. I don't know if they're doing this because they really wanted to double triumph, which will be a lot of points for sure. I think I would be a little bit surprised if there wasn't a pile out. I mean, are they gonna go to 0 villagers? Surely they're not gonna play the militia. There's still another. No. The other inventor's in the trash. I doubt that this matters. Like, maybe they think they've blown it enough to lose, but I extremely doubt it. I don't care. Guess you can Overlord Guide and still have an action left. Get a scepter and still draw the scepter. I think playing the militia is like totally not worth it. To me. But so they're gonna go into this next hand with no villagers, which gives me a shot. I mean, I can play for a dud. It's not, they have to not draw any of the 3 overlords or the recruiters, but it's totally possible. I would not have played the militia. Like, I would have at least given myself another lackeys or swashbuckler play to get in there. I'm also pretty convinced that they could have found a win this turn. But this order and these options were not what were gonna do it. It would be one for puzzles. I'm not 100% that it would have worked, but I mean, yeah, you can just do this and I guess double triumph. Or you can just, they still have a win. So they didn't even need me to, I don't think they even needed me to do any, I think the one was still in hand. They didn't have to, like, they could have just not played they could have just trashed militia or whatever. I don't think they needed that money. They only needed $2 at the end there. Yeah, they didn't need all that undo stuff. Or they could have played like, well, they probably needed to, but yeah, I don't, they could have just trashed militia. Or not, whatever, trashed a copper. Based on what I'm seeing there, it didn't look like they needed that at all. Okay, so we got to figure out. I might buy Fool just for the fun of it. I wonder if you want to save. I wonder if you want to save your token to try and hit prop rotation. If you just want to take a T-Mog and get moved that way. It feels fun. I like Fool. We'll just do Fool. I don't know that Fool is like the best opening here or anything like that, but I think you can play pretty money ish. I mean, like you have a bunch of Sears or whatever. I mean, you can always build up the draw, but you can also probably green kind of quickly without too much troll here. It may end up being worth it to swap out a decent number of coppers for ducats. Also, I'm gonna go with Sear here. This was sad, or a little sad. I guess we could buy cavalry. We want this stuff to miss a shuffle or not? Do we want to shuffle right off or not? This wasn't actually sad. I mean, it was not a great seer reveal, but it was a fine draw. We got a little bit of estating, and there's no estates in here. This is not 100% clear to me. I'm gonna do this. Maybe should be death to the estates, but guy's not so good. He is nice. Mountain is fine. Did I get a workers' village? Or did I just trash? Kinda want a workers' village. This isn't super good. That was really nice for them. I mean, I'm just gonna cavalry and play the ducat and pass. This isn't great, but I think you crop rotation. You could just take a sear. I mean, that's not unreasonable either. Depends. I guess if you know you have an estate, I'd probably crop rotation. If you don't know, maybe you just do sear. I mean, or if you know you don't, maybe you just do sear. I guess you could argue that maybe a guide is worth picking up versus saving a coffer. Assume they're gonna burn a coffer to trash a copper. We don't have a lot of sears. This is a little sad. I think you'd probably rather get a sear into the shuffle than this by this cavalry here. I could be wrong, but now you're, this isn't clear to me at all. I'm finding that maybe I've bottom decked the sear here, so that's not good. This probably doesn't matter really. I mean, discard copper to receive field is probably not too much of a benefit. They don't have terminals to play. Potentially downside, right, if you don't. Maybe if you want to get a ducat. There's at least a chance that it is anyway. I think you just buy sear. Or you can go cavalry, but at some point you need to actually buy the sears. Like, they're just better than the cavalries. This has been so long since I played my fool. This is not a great setup. This is a nice game for them, for sure. Especially this hit here. Anyway, I feel a little behind. I don't know that we're really that different. I don't think we're probably that far off from one another. But I do feel a little bit behind. Would like to try and find the workers' village if I can. I guess I should just. Well, that's probably too many cavalry. I could draw on. We just don't have the. Yeah, that's gonna probably not work. Could have got a ducat there. And now I have 2 3 terminals. We're okay. Oh. Trying to look at the trash. Sec coppers. So now they have quite a few cavalries, but again, no workers' villages. So they're probably over terminal. T-Mog would be nice. T-Mog would be nice to change cavalries into. Like, this is not. I mean, sort of continually the turns look like this. They don't look super impressive to me. I can either get a cavalry myself, or I can get a workers' village, or I could get the T-Mog now. This would be an interesting time to guide. Obviously, still not gonna do it with this hand, but. Okay, pretty happy with that. How I feel. Think ahead. We'll see what they get going this turn. Still, they should have a terminal problem. I mean, they may play the fool and get field out of it. That would help quite a bit. At this point, I only have like a couple, 2, maybe 3 coppers. Well, I had 6 coppers, right? I only have 2 coppers. And then the seers that the seers can miss on. So they should be double labs pretty often. And triple labs every once in a while. They're still doing this where they, like, they're going to end up with a hand of cavalries, surely. And no workers' villages. I mean, they have the one workers' village, but they've bought. They don't kind of, like, I'm getting really good use out of this one in hand here. They buy another cavalry. Like, now, what are they doing? Next turns. The next turns, the cavalries are just stop cards. They don't have T-Mogs. They have 1 village to like 6 terminals or something. They don't find field here, so they shuffle this deck in, and it'll have. You could easily draw the horse. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I guess they're getting sun, so that doesn't matter so much, but they leave a couple horses on top. They have to like buy a workers' village, don't they? Otherwise, how does the deck run? But that's still not enough. It's like 5 or 6 terminals to 2 villages. I just don't. I think it works. I need to find some of the workers' villages, but. So, like, I can take the last cavalry. Can I win? Probably not a win. I don't really want to leave a pile out either, though. $23.29. No, okay. Yeah, it would be bad to leave a pile out here. We should at least get. I'm trying to think if I want to get the last cavalry or not, or if I just want to. I'm going to do this way. This isn't. Okay, we did get. This was pretty good. I could have probably done a little more there. But this felt reasonable. I still have 2 guides down, so I'm not really gonna dud. They've ended up buying the last cavalry here. Pile out seems pretty doable on my turn. 15, 27. Well, okay, I mean, well, not night 14 plus 8, 22. I'm around $20. They get by the they're gonna buy the cavalry. It's just they're just in this loop. It doesn't. They just do it so that their turn looks a little better, or they see a few more of the cards, but it just is wrecking their deck. Like, how many of these 15 cards are cavalries? Probably 6 of them. 5, probably more like 5 of them. I've gotten 4, right? So they've gotten 6 total. So, but still, there may be 5 in hand, of 2 of which you can play. You gotta balance that better. Your deck is just not gonna run. They're just so many turns where they probably had 5 in hand and they went for more with the cavalry. They could have just stopped and bought a seer. In the reshuffle, that would have suddenly looked way better. Got nice boons for sure. Yeah, I don't really. That doesn't seem like it makes a huge difference to me. Well, that was technically ordered incorrectly, but I should have played Seas before Wind, but it didn't. I had the 2 estates in hand, so it didn't matter. Or maybe I drew them, I don't remember now. No, I had them in hand. So it didn't matter. The estates were the targets for sure. They're not even gonna province, so I'm just gonna gain a seer and then I'll pile out here for sure. I don't hope we get another cavalry game. Maybe. It is. This one's pretty pretty explosive. To be sure. Sculptor is huge. I don't know. The rest of the stuff. I mean, you would get a champion, and then it's like take your pick, right? You have some sculptors. Just do whatever you want. The world is your oyster. See if they have the. I think you go cavalry on the 3-4 page cavalry. You know the 3-4. I don't know. I was thinking gear, but lackeys is possible too. See if they drew it. Of course, I spent a villager there to put the horses into the shuffle, which seemed worth it to me. I think we try and play the treasure hunter. Yeah. That's nice. Um, jakkdl or sculptor isn't clear at all to me. Not at all. I could be, I mean, if someone said, oh, you should have bought. Someone was like, oh, you actually you should have bought whatever this other card is. You should have bought sculptor there. I could easily be convinced of that. I'm going to put the horses in again. There are some potentially bad shuffles due to there being the other stuff in here, but let's move a little bit. See what we get. Okay, we helped them out a little bit, but we're up to hero. So that's good. We're gonna make this stuff miss a shuffle. It looked worth it. I mean, obviously I shuffled into perfect things, so that's gonna make the cavalry buy look better for sure. If you get very lucky. The hero play will probably either get us to pathfinding or to sculptor. Which one is not clear, but I think they must. Well, they don't even. No, they do have a warrior. They have their warrior here. I don't know if it was in that shuffle or not, but this is a good shuffle for them, or at least it looks pretty good. Maybe they hit 8 even. I think you can go ahead and pathfind. Well, I mean, okay, it's the same issue as like if you do have 8, it's not unreasonable to pathfind the lackeys. Go ahead and pathfind the lackeys or whatever card. I mean, lackeys looks most likely. But you can also just buy a sculptor, I think. Hopefully we find hero. Yeah. We get to like 9 cavalry sculptor looks probably pretty good. If there's still stuff left in the shuffle that we're trying to move through. We definitely are going to be over terminal this one through, so we're basically not going to worry about it. We're just going to hope the lackeys give us a good enough run there. I have 2 cavalries in the shuffle, 3 lackeys. There are a few problematic things. Later on, the cavalries are fine, but still probably a little bit worse than the lackeys. I mean, it's okay to have some for consistency's sake, but it does cost you a little bit in like tempo. Like cavalry versus lackeys in hand. Of course, lackeys is way, way better. Now when you can like trigger shuffles with horses, that's different. I assume they're just giving it a good old think. Okay, that's something. That's one way to do it. We draw the champion at the top of the shuffle. That's pretty juicy. If we don't, it's less juicy. I don't know. They got a little movement here. I'm not totally sure what the last set of cards are. No estates, so it's just going to be a copper trash most likely. Pretty likely just play horse, play junk dealer, trash, and buy lackeys. Seems like really likely to be the play here. I could have cavalried. I was out of action. I didn't know. I don't think I had enough money. Yeah, I had to play the hero. Yeah, it was just not going to work that way. If they come through these shuffles and don't have sculptors, then it starts to look a lot more doable for me. So I could cavalry here. I'm making 5 coppers miss on top of junk dealer missing, not a big deal. Pulling the coppers out, pretty awesome. The lackeys, fine. Probably just fine. So we can keep going if we want. Or we can take a lackey. Well, we can take the lackeys now. So. All right, this is great. Mostly it's just great because I have the sculptor. We're going to get champion about the same time. They really still need to buy. I mean, they can spend as much money. They can spend it on the cavalries, but they need to spend some money on sculptor, IMO. Like they can, like if they have, I don't know how much money they have exactly, but if they had $13, you know, they could spend. They probably don't have $13, but they could spend that on 2 cavalries and a sculptor or whatever. But you really need to get a sculptor. I don't know what I have at the end bottom here. They got how many silvers? They got 2 silvers. And they've trashed some, maybe no coppers. I don't know. That was my copper, so they still have 7 coppers and 2, so they have $11. But that's not enough, right? You really need a sculptor pie here. Maybe I'm miscounting something. No, they have the gold. They have $15, or not $14. Okay, so they do have enough if they can draw the money. Okay, so that looks totally reasonable. This is not great. I don't remember what my bottom cards are, and what I do here probably depends on that somewhat. Yeah, unfortunately, there was just not really an out here. So I'm probably now falling behind on tempo. Or not just tempo, but just strictly falling behind. There is something to be said for possibly getting a treasure hunter. We really need another sculptor. I mean, there was not really anything I could do about that. Let me think. I've probably fallen a little behind now, if I had to guess. There's obviously still some play, but I think that's all their horses. I think I have the others. I think I have the 6 horses right now. So they may have to gain draw here. I think you probably take... I mean, gear is just strictly better than lackeys, unless you think there's some pile out thing going on. So taking lackeys doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can... There are always pile out considerations, but that's about the extent of it. Also, cavalry possibly makes more sense to get the buy this turn. In fact, they didn't... Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know if they have the overdraw to make use of it. Maybe they don't. But maybe I don't either. But I think you either gain the cavalry to hand or you gain a gear. I mean, well, of course, gear better than lackeys that's just strictly the case. So I don't know about all this. Next turn, they should be much better on draw. I mean, you can also think about pathfinding, but it's not clear to me that it does more than getting gains for you over the long haul. Certainly might, but whether it does immediately is not super clear to me. So you still lack buys. I mean, I can't do anything too fancy here. I should have played the lackeys way before all that, but whatever. Didn't have anyway. So I'm gonna get a workers' village. They still have a buy issue, definitely. We'll probably continue to have a buy issue. At least if they don't pick up buy. Because this turn they have 2 buys after they draw deck. Potentially I have like 4 buys, something like that. Well, no, I mean 5 buys even, so. So we'll see what they do if they take. They don't have like double province. My threat, or at least a good portion of my threat, is just I can probably get enough money to quad pretty much when I want. so long as we don't dance around the piles too much. So long as I don't leave open a pile out for them. So that gives me some power in the end game. I mean, this is also, I do have to build up a little bit of gains, or not gains, some draw over the course of the next couple turns. So now they have 2 sculptors and 1 workers village. 2 buys 4. So they can do 4, or they can do 6 if 2 of them are workers villages. Okay. That's good to know. I'm not going to play the treasure hunter yet. I would like to buy probably 1 province. They do 6, 12, 14. Whether I can draw that is another question, but they can't like opt to not play the cavalries either. I mean, they can opt to not play some of them. Yeah, I think pathfinding has got to be worse than sculptors. Double province is losing, like on the spot. I think even if they don't. Well, double province definitely loses on the spot. I think single probably also loses on the spot, but double definitely loses on the spot. Have now $30, $40. Got to keep that treasure hunter. At the end, it was truly a champion and a hero. All right. Well, that somehow worked out exactly like I wanted it to. It looked good in the middle, and then somewhere in the later middle kind of looked scarier, but I don't like the they just never had any pile threat or money threat, but the pathfinding just looks, I think, a lot worse than sculptor to me. And I do think they did some order stuff wrong with the cavalry, with what they gained to hand with the sculptor that one turn. I think was probably fairly important that they didn't do it in the correct order. I think they could have gone cavalry to hand. It would have been, I think, quite a bit better. I don't know. Maybe not noticeably better. I'm not sure. But all right. So another page board. I don't know. Is there anything? We don't have fool. You could maybe rush the provinces if you just had fool. I guess you could go for a big I don't know. It still doesn't seem that good to delay. Like the page line looks decent just in a money kind of sense. But it doesn't look really great to delay greening here. I don't think the draw isn't super good. The trashing isn't super good. So the LVP is non-existent. So you don't need to wait too long. I don't see anything super quick to go straight for Guildhall stuff. I mean, you can obviously, you could open like double scrap and try that. I don't know that it's better than getting a hero and getting some silvers off Treasure Hunter. That's not clear to me. Yeah, I don't think you go to built up here. You could go plan single scrap, I guess. You're trying to hit 5, I think. And then your scraps are a bit better. Still seems reasonable to me to get a page, I think. Good draw for me. We won a second scrap already. Or just like a silver. This next hand has 4 in it. We could trash a copper. We could put plan on scrap. Trash a copper. Those all seemed possible. I'm gonna get a workers village actually. That's maybe not good, but some laboratory stuff still seems totally reasonable to me. This silver buy might have been questionable. Maybe could have been just another page. I think that would have been reasonable. Though if I want to buy a few laboratories, then this looks okay. I guess I could plan laboratories. I don't know how likely that is to pan out. If Fool was on this board, I would totally just go straight Guildhall. I would not even touch. Okay, it's still not clear, right? Because the page line is okay for getting Guildhall and stuff. Like that's not bad for that. But I would probably not touch like lab and things. I'd probably go straight for the. This is a nice draw here. Okay. They're following. It's always nice when they're following you when you're ahead, which I am currently, not by a huge amount, but certainly by the first player amount. Whether it remains at lead will depend a little bit on their shuffle. Of course, just based on my opening hand of this reshuffle, I'm probably still ahead. So there's like horse and laboratory in here, so I did hit a scrap. That's nice. Gotta think about taking Guildhall. I am pretty ahead at this point. I guess I should take buy just in case I don't draw the workers' village. Okay, I drew the workers' village. That's cool with me. I could not take champion. Do I care about champion? What am I terminaling? I'm really not. Let's not get champion. Keep the champion or the hero. I'm gonna go to default keep. Okay, so this wasn't the best ever draw, but it's okay. We'll probably, I mean, at the least we'll trash a silver or trash a copper and buy a lab at a bare minimum. Maybe I'll get another scrap. Nice. They did get another page, didn't they? So they're saving their treasure hunter for after they've bought a Guildhall, I guess. They would have a lot of, I mean, I'll probably gain a lot of cards. They probably will have a good amount of coffers when they get that. And the warrior can hit me a little bit, but I maybe can think about getting a page myself. Okay, they still didn't buy Guildhall, so that threat is still not in the cards yet. guess I mean, I think they'll probably take the last laboratory here and I just green. They buy Guildhall, I might go Province Lab or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. It would be cool to have another. It would be cool to have like duplicates on the golds as well. It would be cool to have a variety of things, but I don't think we necessarily need them. Still no Guildhall for them. Again, that just gives me time to get out ahead on the greening, I think. And I'll get a treasure hunter and then probably buy Workers Village Province this turn. If I had to guess what I end up getting. What should I get on the horse? 3 buys is excess. I don't need buys. Action coin silver on a horse. Trying to think if I get a scrap or if I get a double province. Double province scrap is okay. Workers Village also made some sense. I mean, I'm not going to miss province, so. The only thing that I thought they might, I don't think this would work. I think I was just in one position more or less. But I think the only thing that would have scared me a little bit is if they had bought a Guildhall, one turn gained a bunch of silvers, and then just started provincing. But whatever this is them buying the labs like one at a time while I'm building up 2 or 3 things is just definitely losing. Then they kill their poor treasure hunter. I mean, we'll see how many coffers we have at the end of it. We may not be too far from triple here. They're not gaining so many cards. They're just gaining maybe 3. In fact, only 2. So I'm not getting a huge anything off of my It's fun though. I mean, it's fun to have the I still have we can just not draw this the gold, I guess. I think the last card is a laboratory. I don't know why I got a buy off the scrap. I was not going to use more than 2 buys. That could have been just coin or whatever. Oh, it logged me off. All right, well, thanks for watching. Catch y'all later.